Welcome to Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professional development. As the current time of 8:59 a.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum traded $1,810, down about 6.72% so far. Respect over crypto market on this Thursday morning, across a lot of the altcoins side of the house is relatively down, including Ethereum, which is kind of like a pseudo altcoin, even though it's one of the key coins that we always talk about. Well, relatively speaking, Bitcoin is only down about 2% so far. And what's driving the negativity across the entire market, and also with respect to the equity side as well, is just kind of, holding on by a thread right now, across Dow Jones, S&P, and NASDAQ, are all up or down about 0.3% so far, so it's kind of levitating. While at the same time, with respect to oil, it's still levitating around 111, which has been just around that level for the last, I would say, 54, 60 hours so far. Hasn't really fluctuated that much. While at the same time, with respect to 10-year yields, is dipping below 2.74% as of this morning so far. And with respect to some of the equity side of the activity that I'm also seeing as well, seems like Macy's, their stock has surged quite nicely after the company has reported 2022 profit to be, to has risen quite nicely compared to Wall Street expectations, and also with respect to the outlook on how they see the inflationary pressure, obviously within these pseudo recessionary type of environment so far, how they expect their business is going to be performing going forward. And based on the verbiage that we read on a high level synopsis, it's relatively, optimistic. So that conveys some buying pressure. In addition to that, with respect to what happened yesterday on the Fed's meeting, as you probably heard from Jerome himself, and obviously from the transcripts and also media broadcasts among various different media spectrum, CNBC, Fox News, they all reported it. Seems like on a high level synopsis, the points in the minutes, it's definitely leaning more towards a high probability that the heights for the interest rate should be going further up, than expected. And with respect to the minutes specifically laid out on Wednesday yesterday, it indicated that officials are prepared to move ahead with multiple 50 basis point interest rate increase going forward. Okay, so what that means is that we will be likely to be raising to 75 basis point. We will be likely subsequently, if we're going to do this in more of a progressive, gradual ramp up cadence, 100 basis point even. And with respect to the minutes, in addition to that, the members are hopeful that with their 50 basis point height, I guess, strategy in a way. I don't even know if this is a strategy. This is just like kind of ripping out the bandage slowly and slowly to make you bleed in a relatively reactionary type of perspective. I mean, it's not even like we're doing anything proactive at the moment. We're just like seeing how things go. That with this rate, it will bring down inflation, which is obviously the reason you're doing this is to bring down inflation. But there's concerns around financial stability risks, with respect to like if we were to raise the debt interest payment to a certain level, that some of these company in just like a corporate operational, just in a corporate balance sheet perspective, can they even sustain and be able to stay afloat without going bankrupt at all. The fact that a lot of tech companies don't have free cash flow or positive earnings, so that they technically would just be digging a deeper hole for themselves. In addition to that, across the spectrum, I'm seeing on the news this morning is that there seems to be some negative bash around altcoin, saying that one will last and the rest will fail. So with that being said, it's driving a lot of fear mongering among a lot of the altcoin, which you see clearly on the chart. It's flying off the cliff as of this morning right now. Ethereum down about 7%, while the altcoin, the more specific altcoin collectively, you could see they're down about like 10 to 11% so far. So let's just dive into the technical without wasting more time. A lot of, not the most appetizing news, and not the, the most optimistic news, despite the market struggling to, to snap away from the continuous sell-off that we've been doing so far. So we'll see how that goes. And tomorrow, again, right, it's the Friday, and then we are leaning, heading onto the Memorial Day weekend in the US on the 30th. So I believe Memorial Day is a market close day, so we technically have a long weekend. So we'll see how the market will, translate the sentiment going forward, and we'll keep an eye out on it. So with respect to recording time of 9:05 a.m. on the Eastern time, we are 18:07 at the moment for Ethereum. You can see that clearly we broke below the 1850, and right now in between levels, just lingering around the flat number. But 1800 is not a real level, right? The next level that we have gotten to before, as you saw that flash crash, was 1700, right? So right now we can see that clearly we're about to cross down again, but in a very minimal way, not like a dramatic way like the way we saw before. At the same time, the inertia is relatively bearish because of the altcoin being bashed, across the media spectrum at the 31 out of 70 right now. So yeah, definitely a lot of negative news. People slowly giving up. Despite Ethereum, I believe based on rumor, and I don't know if it's confirmed yet, that with respect to the Ethereum 2.0 is expected to, evolve or transition into the 2.0 sometimes around August or September. So we will technically see some anticipatory pressure. And with respect to the sell-off that we're seeing right now, behind the scenes, just in the private market perspective, there's been a lot of funds that's been raised to be focusing on crypto. And investors have been actually more aggressive in terms of investing into crypto as well during this downturn. And they're actually doubling up and even tripling up. So does it make sense for us to, sell, because you're down right now? I would say no, because these are the time to be extra aggressive onto, building that long-term position that you ideally want, right? Because it's a long-term investing. Like if you think about this in the spectrum of like couple weeks, it doesn't quite, it kind of defeats the purpose of long-term fundamental investing, right? So with respect to Bitcoin, down about 2.4%, 28,800 at the moment. So we are basically at the level that we identify. So if we break the current level, we're going to go down to like 27,500 and then all the way to 25,500 respectively. Ethereum Classic, the next level that we will go down ideally would be somewhere around like the 1850. If we break 1850, we're going to go down to 1550 all over again. Dogecoin, 7 cents at the moment, anywhere from current level down to 7 cents. But this is kind of round up to 8 cents, right? So 8 cents to 7 cents respectively. Cardano down about 6%. Anywhere from current level down to somewhere around like the flat numbers, like 45, 40, 35 respectively. Solana down about 10% right now, $43 at the moment. Let me just take a look at on a daily. You can see that we have sold down because we broke the 49, right? So as you break 49, you're going to go down ideally to the flat numbers first, which is 40, matching with the previous level, but ideally going down to 37 respectively. XRP down about 4% at 38 right now, anywhere from current level down to somewhere around 37 would be logical. But all the flat numbers, right? 35, 40, 30 respectively. Polkadot down about 8.7%. At $9 right now, anywhere from current level down to somewhere around 850. Algorand's 6.83 right now, 37.91 at the moment. Currently, anywhere, all the flat numbers basically, right? 37, like 35, 30, 25 respectively on those levels down. Shiba Inu down about 6.7%, 1,000 right now. So With respect to the frames, right, 2100, 1400, 900. So we're basically closing in on the 900 mark that's coming. So I think that's not a terrible, level to incur risk from this standpoint. Polygon up down about 7.3%, anywhere from current level down to somewhere around like the flat numbers, like 55, 50, respectively on those flat numbers. AVAX down about 12%. We're basically back to all the flat numbers again, right? 20, 25, 15, respectively, at the 27 out of 70. Highly submerged already. So it's a down day today again because of the just the negative verbiage from the minutes, negative media affectation around altcoin, and obviously kind of flaky stock earnings report that came out in the last 48 hours so far. So investors are digesting all of this in a, I guess, a progressively digressive manner, which is unfortunate. And with respect to the next FOMC meeting, that's coming up soon as well. So we might see more pain coming. So have a good rest of the Thursday, and let me know if you have any questions, and appreciate you.